This morning, you paid for something. You don't remember paying. There was no receipt, no credit card charge, nothing in your bank statement. But you paid. At 7 in the morning, when that alarm went off, you made a deal. You sold something. Someone bought it. The question isn't whether this happened. The question is this. Do you know what you sold? Do you know what it cost? There's an old story about a merchant who bought a beautiful bell. Every morning at dawn, he rang it to wake his village. The sound was clear and bright. The villagers thanked him. For years, he rang that bell. One day, a traveler passed through the village. He heard the bell at dawn. He found the merchant and asked a simple question. Who decided dawn was the right time? The merchant stopped. He thought, well, everyone wakes at dawn, he said. The traveler smiled. But did they choose to wake at dawn, or did your bell choose for them? The merchant had no answer. He went home that night and looked at his bell. Differently, he'd been ringing the bell every morning for 10 years, but now he wondered, was he ringing the bell, or was the bell ringing him? Your alarm clock is that bell. It rings every morning, maybe at 6, maybe at 7, maybe 5:30 if you're chasing something or running from something. And when it rings, you think you're making a choice. You think you're being responsible, being an adult, doing what you're supposed to do. But let's look closer at what's actually happening. Let's see the deal you're making. Because most people go their whole lives without ever seeing it clearly. Your body doesn't run on business hours. For millions of years, humans woke with light, slept with darkness, followed the sun, not the clock. Your ancestors didn't have mandatory 9 o'clock meetings. They had sunrise, and sunrise changed with the seasons. In winter, they slept longer. Their bodies rested more. In summer, they woke earlier. Their bodies matched the light. They didn't fight their nature. They followed it. Then we invented the job. And the job needed something new. Everyone had to arrive at the same time. Not when their body was ready, when the clock said so. So we invented the alarm, and we called it progress. But here's what nobody tells you. Your brain sleeps in cycles. Each cycle lasts 90 minutes. You go from light sleep to deep sleep to dream sleep. Then back to light sleep, over and over, all night long. When you wake up naturally, without an alarm, you surface during light sleep. Your brain is ready, your body is prepared. You open your eyes and you feel okay, maybe even good. But when an alarm jolts you awake during deep sleep, you're not waking up. You're being interrupted. It's like someone yanking you out of a moving car. Your brain was doing important work, processing memories, repairing your body, cleaning out waste, fixing what broke during the day. The alarm doesn't care. The alarm has a schedule. So your brain stops mid-repair, abandons the work, surfaces too fast, and you feel it. That fog, that heaviness, that feeling of not quite being human yet. Scientists have a name for it, sleep inertia, but that's just a fancy way of saying your brain isn't done yet. You pulled it out too early, and now you're walking around with an unfinished brain, trying to make decisions, trying to be productive, trying to be present, but you're not fully there. And you won't be, not for hours. But it gets worse. Your body doesn't just have sleep cycles, it has a master clock. Deep in your brain, there's a tiny cluster of cells. Scientists call it the suprachiasmatic nucleus. But forget that name, just know this. It's your body's timekeeper. It decides when you feel awake, when you feel tired, when your body temperature goes up or down, when hormones get released, when your heart beats faster or slower. You don't control this. You can't control this. It's automatic. Like breathing, like blinking, it runs in the background of your life. And here's the thing nobody wants to admit. Not everyone's clock is set the same. Some people's biology says wake at 6 in the morning. Those are the morning people. The larks. Some people's biology says wake at 9 or 10. Those are the night people. The owls. This isn't about laziness. It's not a character flaw. It's genetics. Scientists have found the actual genes that control this. They have names like PAIR3 and clock and CRY1. You inherit them like you inherit your eye color. You don't choose them. But society doesn't care about your genes. The job starts at 9, which means you need to be awake by 7, which means the alarm goes off whether your body is ready or not. So if you're a night owl, if your genes say sleep from 1 in the morning to 9 in the morning, but you're forcing yourself awake at 6:30 every day for 20 years, you're not building discipline, you're building damage. You're overriding millions of years of evolution. You're telling your body it's wrong. Every single morning. For what? So you can sit in traffic by 8, sit at a desk by 9, be productive by 10, except you're not productive. Because your brain is screaming that it's the middle of the night, so you drink coffee, you force alertness, you feel foggy until lunch. By 2 in the afternoon, you're crashing. You blame yourself. You think, I'm just not a morning person. No, you're not a 7 in the morning person. But the alarm doesn't care about that. Let's count the cost, not the obvious cost. Everyone knows you lose sleep. That's bad enough. Let's count the real costs, the ones you don't see, the ones that have been adding up for years while you weren't paying attention. First cost, your brain. When you wake up mid-cycle, your thinking brain doesn't turn on right away. The part that makes decisions, the part that solves problems, the part that regulates your emotions. It takes up to 4 hours to fully activate. 4 hours, so if you wake at 7 and start work at 9, you're working with half a brain until noon. You're making choices, solving problems, talking to people. With a brain running at 60%, maybe 70 on a good day, how many bad decisions have you made before lunch? How many good ideas never came because your brain wasn't awake enough to see them? You'll never know. That's the invisible cost. Second cost, your body. Chronic sleep disruption does real damage, not might do damage, does damage. Study after study shows the same thing. People who wake up against their natural rhythm have higher rates of heart disease, weaker immune systems, more anxiety, more depression, faster aging at the cellular level, more inflammation everywhere. There's a reason you feel older than you should. Your body has been in a state of emergency for years. Every morning, the alarm triggers a cortisol spike. That's your stress hormone. It floods your system. This is designed for real danger, for predators, for life or death moments, not for getting to a desk on time. But your body can't tell the difference, so it releases cortisol every morning for decades. And cortisol in chronic doses destroys. It breaks down tissue, weakens bones, clogs arteries, shrinks your brain's memory center. The alarm isn't just waking you up, it's aging you faster. Third cost, your life itself. Here's the question nobody asks. If you're waking up before your body's ready, when are you actually alive? Not functioning, not producing, not performing, actually alive, present, awake, yourself. Most people say after work, evenings, weekends. But by evening, you're exhausted. You gave your best hours to the office. What's left for your actual life? Scraps, tired hours, the depleted version of you. Weekends? You spend Saturday recovering from the week. You spend Sunday dreading Monday. So when exactly is your life happening? The mornings are sacrificed to the alarm. The days are sacrificed to the job. The evenings are spent recovering. Your actual living gets squeezed smaller and smaller until one day you look up and realize something terrible. You've been awake for 30 years, but you've been alive for maybe 5. Fourth cost, the people you love. When you wake up exhausted, jolted out of sleep by a screaming alarm, who do you become? Short-tempered, impatient, emotionally empty. You snap at your partner over nothing. You're irritated with your kids before breakfast. You have nothing left for anyone, including yourself. The first hour of your day sets the tone for everything. If that first hour is resentment of the alarm, resentment of the job that demands you wake before you're ready, that resentment bleeds everywhere. It touches everything. It becomes you. How many mornings have you been cruel to someone who didn't deserve it? Not because they did anything wrong, but because you were already empty before you even opened your eyes. The alarm doesn't just wake you, it determines who you are for the next 16 hours. Now let's multiply this. You started working at 22, you're 40 now. That's 18 years of alarm clocks. 18 years of forced waking, that's 6,570 mornings. Not all of those mornings were deep sleep interruptions. Some mornings you got lucky, the alarm rang during light sleep. But let's be conservative, let's say half. 3,285 mornings where you were yanked out of deep sleep or dream sleep. Each one cost you 2 to 4 hours of peak brain function. Let's use 2 hours. The low end, 3,285 mornings times 2 hours. That's 6,570 hours. That's 273 days. That's 9 months. You've spent 9 months of your working life making decisions with a broken brain. And that's just the cognitive cost. Add the health damage, the relationship strain, the emotional depletion, the life compression, the cost. Compounds. It grows. Every year, the debt gets bigger. And here's the worst part. You think this is normal, you think everyone lives this way, and they do. Which is why nobody questions it. The alarm rings, you wake, you go, you work, you repeat for 40 years until retirement, and then finally the alarm stops. You're free to wake naturally, except by then your body has forgotten how. There's a Zen story about a student who asked his teacher, "Does a dog have Buddha nature?" The teacher said, "Moo." Moo doesn't mean yes. Moo doesn't mean no. Moo means the question itself is wrong. You're asking the wrong thing. So when people ask me, should I quit my job to escape the alarm? I say, moo. That's not the question. The question is this: do you know what you're paying? Most people don't. They wake at 7 for 20 years without ever counting the cost. They feel tired, foggy, resentful, empty, and they blame themselves. I should go to bed earlier. I should be more disciplined. I should be grateful I have a job. But what if the problem isn't you? What if the problem is the alarm? What if the problem is a world that demands everyone wake at the same time, regardless of their body's truth? You can't just stop setting the alarm. Bills are real. Responsibilities are real. The world runs on schedules. But you can see the alarm clearly. You can stop pretending it's neutral. You can stop pretending it's just a tool. It's not a tool, it's a transaction. Every morning, you trade something, and most people never count what they're trading away. Once you see it clearly, everything changes. Maybe you start looking for work with flexible hours. Maybe you negotiate to start later. Maybe you restructure your life to need less money, which gives you more freedom in choosing work. Maybe you just stop blaming yourself for being tired all the time, because the exhaustion isn't moral failure. It's your body trying to tell you something. The alarm has been drowning out that voice for years. Tomorrow morning, your alarm will ring, you'll reach over, you'll turn it off, you'll get up. But before you do, I want you to try something. When the alarm goes off, don't move right away. Pause, just 5 seconds. In those 5 seconds, ask yourself this: what am I about to pay? Is this price worth it? Don't answer right away. Don't judge yourself. Don't panic. Just notice. Notice where your body was when the alarm interrupted. Notice the feeling of being pulled from sleep. Notice the first emotion that rises. Is it resentment, dread, resignation? Just notice. The monks understood something most people miss. You can't change what you can't see. The alarm has been invisible your whole life. Just a normal thing, a necessary thing, part of being an adult. But now you see it. You see the transaction. You see the cost. And seeing clearly is the first step to living differently. The merchant rang his bell every morning for 10 years, until the traveler asked who decided dawn was the right time, and the merchant realized something. He had been ringing the bell, but the bell had been ringing him. Tomorrow morning, your alarm will ring. The question is this: are you waking up, or are you being woken? Sit with that.